Alright guys, what is going on? I am Numbnexus, bringing you guys here week 2 of the UCL Little Cup League off-season thing. Now, if you can give the video a thumbs up, I'd be most appreciated as always, but this is going to be really weird to talk about this. As you can see, it's Dan on the screen. Hold up, wait a minute, this is my boy Dan on the screen, hold up. Yo! I'm sorry, more like, no! Pretty much, I need to explain what happened in this match. This ought to be a doozy, and people always jump to conclusions. They're like, oh, he DC'd intentionally to try and get a better score. Oh, he just DC'd to try and win. Like, who the hell does that? What? No, let me explain this. Pretty much, at first, I thought it was my internet that constantly made me disconnect. It actually wasn't, because I upgraded, and I don't disconnect on anything. I don't disconnect in calls, I don't disconnect in Smash, no online Steam games. I disconnected nothing but my DS. And I found out that it's the DS. It's having some poor type of connection issues to where it just won't keep a stable connection. Do you know how else, how else this could be backed up as well? There's an FFA that I did with Nappy and a few other friends that I don't know what's going to go up, but it's going to go up. And broke the fourth wall there. And I constantly kept losing connection in that too. Why do you think I stopped Wi-Fi battles? Not because I grew boresome of Oras, which I mean Oras is kind of stale, but it's not that I just grew bored of Oras Wi-Fi. It's that I literally can't do Oras Wi-Fi. And I thought that it was my very poor internet. It ended up being more than that. And it was just straight up my DS. And you know what it sucks too, is that it's the capture card DS. It's the capture card DS. The capture card program works perfect, but it's the DS itself, and I just don't know how to fix it. Like, I don't know if I have to get a new one. Thankfully though, I have another DS, which I will just use that from now on and just post-com, you know, from now on. That's what I'm forced to do, so I'm just gonna have to do post-com from now on, guys. I'm sorry, I know you all, like, anytime you see a post-com on the channel, you're always like, oh, we need live now, we need live now. I got lucky with Shadies. It'll hold the connection and then sometimes it won't, you know? Like, sometimes it'll hold the connection and then sometimes it won't. Like, I get very lucky where sometimes it'll go completely smooth and I don't lose the connection at all. And sometimes lose the connection consistently, and sometimes I lose the connection like barely, where I'll be like, I lose connection once and I try it again and it'll work fine, or lose connection multiple times and nothing happens, like the match here with me and Dan. And it was just really getting irritating, and I didn't want to do it to Dan, so I just took the forfeit. 3-0. I just said 3-0 because screw it. Honestly, I just said screw it. Honestly, I said the 3-0 just cause, honestly, I just said screw it. That, because I mean, clearly as you can see at the end of the video, or well, no, you'll see at the end of the video that it's not necessarily a 3-0 on his favor. Like, he has more mons than that. I just forfeited. I just straight up forfeited. And it sucks a lot that I had to take the forfeit, but it's on my end. It's not Dan's fault, it's my fault. So it would be weird, because he did offer it the forfeit. And that'd be really, like, because he's had a lot of disconnections as well before we did this match, and I really didn't want to bring him through that. You know what I mean? The guy's already had enough as it is, and I didn't want to put more on his plate. So really, I just decided to take the forfeit, take the L there, and now I'm 0-2. Great record. I've never done this bad. I've actually never done this bad. But it's not over yet, because if I win, like, if I go on a winning streak, like, then I'll be 4-2. So that's 1, 2. Yeah, I'll be 4-2. And yeah, I'll be 4-2, which will actually make me either a tie or I'll win my division. So honestly, I'm pretty confident of me beating Twit, and I found a way to beat Shady, and I forget the score. I played good against Dan. I played really good against Dan, like really good. Like, I knew some of the sets that he brought. I feel like I just have, outside of some of the threats, I kind of have some mons that just have better matchups versus team. So I have ways of defeating Dan, and you can see from the match that I did good. I did good. More along towards the end though, I just kind of said screw it, because I figured that I was just too stressed out from the disconnections, and Dan made some misplays too because he was too stressed out from the disconnections, of course. So no part, please, no hate or anything like that. Like, I'm making this video so that I don't get hate, you know? Because in season 1, when I had this connection issues with Shady, there's like 50, 100, or 50 to 100 like dislikes, and people thought that I disconnected to like try and get hacked. Like, that's laughable, actually. Hang on, let me just drink this tea. That's really laughable. Hang on. Just gonna. It's none of my business. My current grind, but no, I have to like explain this. It's weird that I have to explain this because some people just believe like the dumbest things ever. So here's me clearing it out. No, it's not for hacks. No, it's not for a better score. It is purely my DS. I thought it was my internet at first, then I upgraded my internet. My internet is now perfect now. It's beautiful, and I pay for it out of my own pocket every single month, so I know what I'm getting. And I know that there's no hiccups. It's absolutely beautiful. And I say this because I can stream at 1080p 60 FPS from my Wii U, which takes a lot. So I know that it works perfectly fine. But it's just my DS. It's just my DS. And do you know how I noticed as well? Because when we were done with the match, my other DS, people are probably going to be asking, why did I not use that other DS? One, it had to update. It's at a very low firmware right now. It had to update. So it was going to take like an hour because I had to update the system, the firmware, and the game and all of that. It was going to take way too long, and me and Dan both didn't have the time for that. So I just decided, hey, screw it, why not try it again? We kind of got it back again, as you can see towards the end. You'll probably see it more towards the end, where I kind of got it back again. We recreated what we could do, and I kind of got it back again, but then I disconnected again. And I just said, Dan, I'm sorry, man. It's just my DS. I've never had this issue with any other thing, not my phone, my computer, my Wii U, Steam games. Nothing else has this issue but my DS. And if anybody, please, if anybody knows how to fix this without me spending another $700 on a capture card, please, that would be incredible. If anybody else knows how to fix it, that'd be incredible if you know how to fix it. So, by all means, leave it in the comments down below if you know how to fix it. And next week we'll be battling Twit, and you will be seeing a match next week because I actually will you know, have a team. You know, I actually will have a team, and I should be able to keep a connection. I'm gonna try it on the other DS. I haven't tried the internet connection on it yet, but I'm gonna see. And if it ends up disconnecting again, well then it's just my DS's then not being able to connect to the internet, because it's only been this DS, and sometimes it just randomly disconnects. So I'm pretty sure it's the DS. So I'm sorry guys again. I'm letting a lot of people down, and I feel bad about that because I play Little Cup, you know, and I'm very good at the tier Little Cup. And everyone's like, oh, Nexus is going to win this off-season. And I'm really proving you guys wrong because I'm 0-2. But it's not over yet because if I go on a winning streak, I'll be 4-2. Then, boom. I'll be 4-2. And then I can get out of my division, or I can get a tie with somebody. You know? So we'll find out after that, and we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting the Pittsburgh Pichus. It means a lot to me. I think I'm just gonna have to get a different DS if the other DS fucks up too, because the other DS is like old. So if that one messes up, it's probably old. But thank you guys for watching. You know, it means a lot to me. If you heard me out throughout the end, I'd love if you guys could point out that you heard me out throughout the end, because some people just skim, you know, or some people just hear in the beginning that our match didn't happen and then they'll just leave. So if you heard out, you're a true numb neighbor. Hashtag Real Nigga Hours, and it means a lot to me. And hopefully I can explain it all to you to get that confusion out the air. There's nothing shady going on. It's just my DS having connection issues. It won't keep a stable connection. But that's it. So if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. Just for support, give it a thumbs up. Leave your feedback down below, as well as what you think on how I'm going to do against Twit and his team and all that stuff. And just if anybody knows what I can do about the connectivity, it means so much to me, because I don't want to go ahead and drop like another $600-700 on the capture card. But that's it. So goodbye.
Let's go into Majora. Majora is really bulky, and I can set up a nice little T spikes, or I can go for the knockoff, get rid of that berry juice he just stole from us. Although he might just take our Eviolite if I do that. He's gonna go for the EQ here. Luckily for us, I can eat that no problem. I'm assuming. Yeah, it does 5 damage, so I'll take it. I definitely want to set up my T-Spikes here. I think that's the proper play, just because it's going to hit everything on his team except for the Ghastly. And I can get that Toxic up, and it's going to just like whittle down his team a little bit. get some residual damage, and hopefully kind of open the door a little bit up for Diglett later. So I'm going to do that. And I can also Hex this thing too if I really want to, because he is status, which is kind of nice. And if Earthquake is his best move to hit me, then I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that. Unfortunately, I don't have water. I'm going to go for the Toxic Spikes, obviously outspeed. I might have to get up and get some water here mid-commentary. He is going to go for the Razor Shell. No crits, and we should be good. That did a lot. That was a crit. That was a crit. So, and the defense drop, this man, luckily we're going to get rid of his Tough Claws here, give him Mummy. Now I have a couple different options here. I can go for the knockoff, get rid of his Berry Juice to keep him from doing those shenanigans again, which I think is the proper play. That way I can Drain Punch him and knock him out on the following turn. Hex would be nice to just hit him, but I think Hex puts him into Berry Juice range, and then it's the same situation I was in before. So, Switcheroo Binacle. If I go for the Hex, it does about 30%. Actually, oh no, if he's paralyzed though. He's paralyzed, how much does Hex do? Because he's not EV, like, Hex actually does like 80%, but then he gets the Berry Juice and heals himself back up. So I think I have to go for the knockoff here. As much as I want to go for the other move, I have to go for the knockoff. So I'm going to get rid of his Berry Juice that he stole from us. It doesn't really do much, but it puts him in range where I think Mienfoo can actually knock him out at this point. He's going to go for the EQ, and that is obviously going to knock us out. Let me just look at the Binacle real quick and just see if Drain Punch does kill. It looks like it does at this range. So Binacle kills Yamask with EQ. I'm going to go into Maro-chan here, who can easily take any hit from this thing, and I can Drain Punch him. I do outspeed him because we're both paralyzed at this point, which is kind of nice. So I get a free Drain Punch off, and I guess I should have probably predicted the potential Ghastly. That was kind of dumb, but he's paralyzed, so if he goes into Ghastly, like, it's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not choice, so I could just knock off the next turn. He's gonna go for Razor Shell, so he actually does outspeed us. Kind of interesting. We're gonna live it, and as long as I don't get paralyzed here, I will knock this thing out. I don't. It should knock this thing out. Mienfoo comes through with a Drain Punch and knocks out Keith. I'll take it. Mienfoo kills Binacle with Drain Punch. And that's nice. And I'm gonna get his Mummery instead of my Regenerator. That's annoying. Oh well. Well, that's fine. I can I switch out. I'm at 20 HP, so I'm in good shape here. I'm in a little bit of trouble in terms of the fact that he can switch something in now, and it basically comes in for free because I'm like kind of -1 defense, which is a bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. Even though we're paralyzed, we can still put in some work for this thing. I'm actually surprised the Binacle outsped us. I am bulky. I don't really have a lot of speed. Oh, I guess standard Binacle Adamant does outspeed us, so he does outspeed us. He was like Banded Adamant, so Mienfoo takes out 2 Pokemon already, the Cottony and the Binacle. Here comes Keith number 3, which is his Eevee. It's gonna get poisoned here now. Does Eevee kill me in 1 hit? I'm minus defense, so I really gotta switch here. And that switch I have to make is gonna be into Goldilocks, I think. I think it's gonna be into Goldilocks. He could Iron Tail me. I don't think he's gonna Iron Tail me though. I could go into St. Louis and take the hit. Because if he's like Bandit or Life Orb Eevee, I can go into St. Louis. Let's see what Eevee, Little Cup Eevee is. Iron Tail would kill St. Louis. Return does not. I could fire off a Superpower or actually a Rock Slide or an Earthquake. I don't think... Oh, we're going to disconnect here. I feel like this is a common theme, guys. I'll be back. Alright guys, so we have recreated the battle. We did our best to kind of recreate it exactly as possible. Unfortunately, that Binacle matchup there was actually a speed tie, so I didn't have to take the Razor Shell, so I'm 3 health higher than I should be. If it ends up mattering, we'll figure it out later, but, you know, with all the disconnects, it is what it is. So let me just message Nexus that we're good to go. Okay, so I was switching here. I was in the process of switching against this Eevee anyway, so not a huge deal. I was going into Armando to take on the Eevee here, as I believe I could take 2 hits, unless he Iron Tails us, which he very well could, but there's always the chance of missing, and if he Iron Tailed, he would lose his Eevee. So, I mean, I could have stayed in, but that's fine. We're going to switch out here. That 3 HP might not end up mattering anyway. I do have Regenerator. I did get the Mummy ability from the Binacle Yamask exchange there, so I should be at 20 health instead of 23, but whatever. It is what it is, man. We tried to recreate it a few times, and I ended up getting a Poison with the Poison Jab. I ended up winning a Speed tie, and like, it's just been all sorts of shenanigans here. So we're gonna do our best here and just try to have fun in the rest of the match. So anyway, my switch is into Armaldo or Armando here, or Anarith, to hopefully take a hit from the Eevee. Eevee's typically, I guess, Life Orbed or Choice Banded. I think it ends up being the same damage because of the way Little Cup works, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. So we'll do the swap here, and we'll see what happens. I should be able to live a Quick Attack plus whatever else he wants to go for here, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think we should be in decent shape. And I actually forgot earlier too that Nose Pass doesn't have Berry Juice. I don't know if I mentioned that. I have a Choice Band on Nose Pass now, which is fine because I still have my Sturdy, so not a huge deal. But in comes Armando here. He's gonna go for the return here. I should be able to live a return. That does 3 damage to us. I wonder if he... Oh, he's not Banded or Life Orb, actually. So Eevee without the Band or Life Orb, return actually is supposed to do 28 to 38%. I'm gonna assume that the happiness is not maxed. Is happiness not maxed? Just gonna ask him because his Eevee's probably not max happiness here, which is probably what happened. I guess we just go for the knockoff here to potentially knock off an item on something. I don't really have to fear the Eevee in terms of how that works out. I don't really have to fear it. I could just go for the knockoff. He's gonna switch out here. I don't know if his happiness is maxed. I don't even know how that works. Maybe his return happiness wasn't maxed, but I'm gonna go for the knockoff here. He's gonna go into his Shinx. He's gonna get the Intimidate off as well, which is okay, because I can get rid of its item. We can find out what item he has at least. And I have Armaldo as a response to Eevee, it looks like every time. So there's the knockoff. It is going to get rid of his Berry Juice, which is very, very nice. He's going to take some toxic damage there. And because the Intimidate, I think it is in my best interest to switch here. I could easily go into Bludolf and kind of mess him up a little bit. Or I can go to Maruchan. I don't know what Shinx actually typically does. So let me just go take a look. I mean, I know what Luxray does for the most part. It gets like Bite and stuff like that. But what does Little Cup Shinx do? Let's take a look here. So Little Cup Shinx, Intimidate, Berry Juice, Relax. So it usually carries Wild Charge, Thief, Volt Switch, and Toxic or Thunder Wave. Yeah, let me think about this here. He could Toxic us, he could Thunder Wave us, he could Wild Charge or Volt Switch here. I mean, even with the attack drop, I realistically could just stay in with Armando, but I think it's worth saving for the Eevee. I just don't want to take a hit with anything else. I don't want him to steal an item from me or anything of that sort. Maybe Goldie Rocks is the best switch in here. I don't want to go into Bludolf because if he thiefs, it could be really, really problematic. I actually have a couple other switches into Eevee. You know what? Let's just stay in here, even though I'm weakened. I think even at -1, we can pretty much hurt him decently well here with our Rock Blast because he doesn't have an item. He could thief, but Rock Blast is probably gonna do a decent amount to this thing. What is this thing called? Shinx. Level 5 Shinx. I have no idea. So I'm -1, so I don't really think that Rock Blast is gonna kill. It's got a chance, so let's just go for the Rock Blast, man. I feel bad too. By the way, my Jenner actually helped out Nexus with his genning this week too, and I do feel bad about that return. Obviously, I don't think it was Matt's intention to not max the happiness on him, but we're gonna get a 5-turn Rock Blast and knock out his little Shinx here. So Anarith kills Shinx with Rock Blast, and I don't know. I don't know if the Eevee situation mattered. If he was max happiness, just to kind of go backwards a little bit, Eevee, he didn't have a choice band, so max happiness return does about 38% max. So I would just be a little bit lower than I am now. You know what I mean? 38%, 28 to 38%, as opposed to I don't know what the minimum base happiness is on Eevee. Otherwise, what's the default happiness? Pokemon Eevee. See if I can figure that out. Here comes the Tyrant. Just gonna get poisoned. Let's just worry about that later. We'll figure it out. This has been an interesting matchup here. I think my play is actually to go for the knockoff here, just to get rid of whatever item he has, and he might be able to knock us out with a rock type move. I'm gonna actually outspeed, of course. We're gonna get the knockoff off here and get rid of whatever item he had, which was a Berry Juice again. So he ran Berry Juice quite a few times. He's gonna miss the Stone Edge there. Definitely in our favor once again. Unfortunately for him, we're able to live or skillfully dodge the Stone Edge from the Tyrant. So we see the Stone Edge, got rid of its item. I could go for a Rock Blast here, or I could potentially switch out, predicting the Stone Edge. I mean, I do have Goldie Rocks who can easily come in on this thing, potentially go for a Volt Switch or something like that, or set up my Stealth Rocks. Armando does still have some usability though, in all honesty, but a Rock Blast isn't going to do too much to Keith. So I'm just trying to think here. I think I'm going to go to Goldie Rocks. I think Rampardos does have some viability. I am -1 attack anyway, so I think it's in my best interest to switch here. So we're gonna go to the Goldie Rocks and see what happens. He's probably gonna Stone Edge again. He does go for the Stone Edge again. He misses again. Guys, I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't want to give you the results of my GBA match, but I did my GBA match today, and now I'm doing this, and it has been a very interesting day, guys, to say the very least. It has been an interesting day. So, anyway, I'm going to go over the Volt Switch here, as I think I could probably take any hit from him. I have the Sturdy. I can get the Volt Switch off and then come back in. Or I could go for a Choice Banded Rock Blast, actually, which might knock him out. Let's go for the Choice Banded Rock Blast. We're banded now, so why not? See what happens. But I do feel bad for Nexus for missing 2 Stone Edges. Obviously, we're not taking this too seriously. It's Little Cup, but simultaneously, still kind of unfortunate for him. We're going over the Rock Blast here. I am going to connect. This might actually knock out the Tyrant if I get a couple Rock Blasts. We're going to hit it like four times. So we're going to get a crit there 2 times. No such luck. He's going to take the toxic damage there, and he has the ability to potentially knock us down to our Sturdy here, I would guess. I don't want to go into Anarith, so I think my play is to just go for Rock Blast here. If he wants to switch, that's fine. He's going to go for the Fire Fang, so he shows Fire Fang, and no burn, no flinch. No burn, no flinch, and we hit the Rock Blast. So the homie Nose Pass is going to pick up the kill. Nose Pass kills Tyrant, and that puts us in a situation where I think he just has Eevee and Ghastly next, if I'm not mistaken, and I think Diglett can probably beat the 2. He might actually be Scarf Eevee now that I think about it, which could be why I didn't see an item on him. Definitely unfortunate that return was not max happiness and the 2 Stone Edge misses. That's Little Cut, man. I don't know, I feel bad. Today's been such a weird day for battling, guys. It's been one of those days, man. I don't even know what to say. It's been an interesting day. So we'll see what happens here. You know, it's frustrating because we're obviously doing the Little Cup League to have fun and stuff, but it's not fun when things like that happen, right? It's not fun when return doesn't have max happiness and it's not your fault. It's not fun when you miss an 80% accurate move twice in a row. That's not fun. And I feel bad for Nexus because I've been on the other side of it, and it's really annoying. And to anyone who like complains in the comment section or on other channels that we're just gonna disconnect, I'm so tired of disconnecting. Okay, well, I'll cut really quick and we'll figure it out. Alright guys, so me and Nexus just talked over Skype, and we kind of went back and forth a bunch of times to try to figure out what the resolution of this match is going to be. A lot of funky stuff that happened. Obviously his return, he didn't have max happiness on his Eevee. That would have lowered my Anareet's health a little bit, you know. We had a bunch of disconnected like a couple times. Unfortunately, guys, first of all, it is not Nexus' fault that we disconnected. It's just the DS's. I don't know. His DS is being funky. It's not his fault. I'm sure he's not doing it intentionally, guys. This is a fun league. It's not a big deal. So we talked about some ideas of what we can do in terms of either playing out the match on Showdown and recreating things again and doing turn by turn to recreate it. That would be pretty interesting, and then we would end up having half the match on Wi-Fi and then half the match on Showdown. We decided not to do that. We were going to potentially try to reconnect, but not going to do that again because it seems like this is going to be a consistent issue. We even talked about the idea of potentially, you know, playing again and just starting from scratch, but unfortunately due to time constraints, it doesn't really make sense. And plus, like, it kind of you lose the whole element of the surprise in the match, and then like, you know, your opponent's set. It's just kind of funky, man. So what we're gonna end up doing here is we're gonna call it a 3-0 win in my favor. So I'll take the win 3-0. I think I was up 5-2 at that point. His Eevee might have been scarfed. I don't know what his Ghastly was. I did have Sucker Punch on Diglett, so unless his Ghastly was like some sort of substitute set, I don't foresee his Ghastly being able to beat the rest of my team. I did still have Mienfoo with knockoff, Choice Scarf Cranidos, so I think like pretty safely, you could assume, I mean it's Theurymon, so you can't always know, but I think it was definitely leaning towards my favor in terms of winning. So shouts to Nexus for just being a stand-up dude and just saying, hey, you know what, let's just call it a day and just say it's a 3-0. And that's going to be that, guys. So I do apologize that we're not able to finish out the rest of this match for you guys. Obviously, I never want to have a Wi-Fi battle that's unfinished, but just due to the consistent technical errors and difficulties and so on and so forth, and the fact that some other things kind of came into play, scheduling and, you know, like I said, you might see a few disconnects in my GBA match tomorrow too, and by a few I mean like 10. So it's just been a lot of disconnecting, and I don't know what to say, man. I don't think it's my DS. I don't know. I mean, I never signed off, so I don't know. Again, it's not Nexus' fault by any mean, guys, so please do me a favor and go check out Nexus' channel for just being an awesome guy. Really good friend of mine, good battler, guys, and we're gonna match up again in a few weeks. Probably on Showdown, we're gonna match up again in a few weeks for the Little Cup League, and again, like, no one wants to take it too seriously, man. It's just for fun. It's Little Cup League for fun. So, anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy. Please just leave a like rating if you did, and hopefully not too much hate, guys. Hopefully you can understand that things just didn't want to work today. Lots of technology issues. So thank you, Pokemon, for that, and that's going to be it for me, guys. My name is Dan, also by A-Drive, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.